Stepney, the Bluebell engine, works closely with his friend Rusty. One day, the Fat Controller came to see him. "Rusty tells me you're in need of change, so I want you to help Toby and Mavis in the quarry." "Oh, thank you, sir," said Stepney. "Shall I be away long?" "Just today," replied the Fat Controller. "But please be careful, it's easy to get lost up there, so be back before dark." "We will," said the driver. Stepney soon arrived at the quarry. "We're glad you're here to help us," said Toby. "Are those my trucks?" asked Stepney eagerly. "Only some of them. There's masses more in the sidings," replied Mavis. "The more the merrier," whistled Stepney. Stepney was really enjoying himself. The dustier he became, the harder he worked. Mavis and Toby were impressed. The quarry foreman spoke to his driver. "We have a night special to take to the building site at the new branch line. Do you want to pull the train?" "Yes, please," said the driver. But he should have asked the Fat Controller first. Night came. "Be careful, Stepney," advised Toby. "I will, and thank you for a lovely day. I do hope I can come back again." "The line can be spooky," said Mavis. "Thank you for the warning," and with that Stepney puffed away into the night. Stepney arrived on time and made the delivery of rock and stones for the workmen. Then he set off for home. That's when the trouble began. The fog came down. Mavis was right. Suddenly everything does look spooky. There's a signal box. And the signal light is green. Someone must have been expecting us. But they hadn't. The points had been set in the wrong direction, but Stepney didn't realize this. "Home, here we come," he thought. Then they approached an unknown area. The driver made a decision. "It's best if we rest here until the fog clears." What are those strange sounds, wondered Stepney. Then the fog slowly lifted. "Oh no," wailed Stepney. "We're in the scrapyards." His driver and fireman went for help. Stepney was all alone, but not for long. 2 diesels approached. "Got you this time, Stepney. You'll make very fine scrap indeed. Buffering Bert." The diesels took him to the large smelter's shed. "Bye-bye, Stepney," said the diesel. Stepney looked up. Above him was a huge grabber. "This engine's not for scrapping," shouted Stepney. The grabber wasn't listening. But just as it was about to grab hold of him, it stopped. There stood the Fat Controller. "It's a good thing I've chosen to visit this yard tonight. Saving you from scrap is getting to be a habit, Stepney. Please stop it."
Yes, sir, but I have learned something.
What's that?
There's no place like home.
And that's exactly where you're going now.
Bluebells forever, sighed Stepney.
Duke is the hero of all the engines. This is a story about him. It happened long ago when Peter Sam was called Stuart and Sir Handel Falcon. Many people came year after year to see the mountains and the lakes, and most of all, Duke. He always pulled his train, even on days when he didn't feel well. "I mustn't disappoint my friends," he would say. Every morning he took his passengers up the line and stopped anywhere they wanted. "Beep, beep," he whistled. "Please be ready when I come back for you, otherwise we might miss your boat to the mainland, and that would never do." One day, Duke didn't feel well. He was short of steam and glad of a rest. His driver and fireman had just finished clearing his tubes when Stuart bustled in. "Hello, Grandpuff," he teased. "Are you short of puff?" "Nothing of the sort. This is routine maintenance." "Tell you what," went on Stuart, "you're getting old. We must take care of you in case you break down." "Humph," boosted Duke. "That'll be the day." Duke couldn't stay cross for long. It was a lovely evening. "Couldn't be better, couldn't be better," he chanted happily. They began to climb, but Duke didn't mind. "I've plenty of steam," he puffed. "We'll be up in a couple of puffs." But soon, Duke's puffs changed to wheezes. His valves were leaking steam. "It's not so easy, it's not so easy," he croaked. "But I'll manage." At last they reached the station. Duke's driver examined him carefully. Anxious passengers waited for news. "Duke is going to take you to the harbour, but he might be late," said the guard. "So 2 engines are coming to help. You'll still catch your boat." Falcon buffered up in front. "Poor old Grandpuff, what a shame you've broken down." "Peep, peep, pip," teased Stuart. "This is the day." He was coupled on behind. "Are you ready?" whistled Falcon. "Yes, I am," replied Stuart. And away they went. When they reached the next station, the cavalcade split up. Falcon took Duke's passengers to the boat. Stuart headed Falcon's train with Duke coupled behind. "Fancy me rescuing Grandpuff! This is the day, this is the day," he boasted. "Poor old engine, poor old engine." But Duke still had plenty of steam left in him. His valves sounded worse than they were. He and his driver had their own little joke ready. They waited until they reached the hill. "Now," said his driver. Duke puffed and roared as though he was pushing the whole train's weight before him. The noise echoed everywhere. When they reached the last station, everyone cheered. "What happened?" asked the boy. "They don't usually need 2 engines." "Well," replied his father, "Stuart broke down. Duke had to help him." Sounds as if he had a hard job, too. Duke and his driver's joke had worked. "Fiddlestick!" exclaimed Stuart, and he vanished in a cloud of steam. Duke wheezed alongside. "Poor old engine," he teased. "It's no good, Stuart. You can't win."
Thomas is a tank engine who lives at a big station on the island of Sodor. He's a cheeky little engine with 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler and a short stumpy dome. He's a fussy little engine too, always pulling coaches about ready for the big engines to take on long journeys. And when trains come in, he pulls the empty coaches away so that the big engines can go and rest. Thomas thinks no engine works as hard as he does. He loves playing tricks on them, including Gordon, the biggest and proudest engine of all. Thomas likes whistling rudely at him. "Wake up, lazy bones, why don't you work hard like me?" One day after pulling the big express, Gordon had arrived back at the sidings very tired. He was just going to sleep when Thomas came up in his cheeky way. "Wake up, lazy bones, do some hard work for a change. You can't catch me." And off he ran laughing. Instead of going to sleep again, Gordon thought how he could get back at Thomas. One morning, Thomas wouldn't wake up. His driver and fireman couldn't make him start. His fire went out and there was not enough steam. It was nearly time for the express. People were waiting, but the coaches weren't ready. At last, Thomas started. Oh dear, he yawned. He fussed into the station where Gordon was waiting. "Hurry up, you," said Gordon. "Hurry yourself," replied Thomas. Gordon began making his plan. "Yes," said Gordon, "I will." And almost before the coaches had stopped moving, Gordon reversed quickly and was coupled to the train. "Get in quickly, please," he whistled. Thomas usually pushed behind the big trains to help them start, but he was always uncoupled first. This time Gordon started so quickly they forgot to uncouple Thomas. Gordon's chance had come. Come on, puffed Gordon to the coaches. The train went faster and faster, too fast for Thomas. He wanted to stop, but he couldn't. "Peep, peep, stop, stop!" "Hurry, hurry, hurry," laughed Gordon. You can't get away, laughed the coaches. Poor Thomas was going faster than he had ever gone before. He was out of breath and his wheels hurt him, but he had to go on. "I shall never be the same again," he thought sadly. "My wheels will be quite worn out." At last they stopped at a station. Thomas was uncoupled, and he felt very silly and exhausted. Next, he went on to a turntable, thinking of everyone laughing at him. And then he ran onto a siding out of the way. "Well, little Thomas," chuckled Gordon, "now you know what hard work means, don't you?" Poor Thomas couldn't answer. He had no breath. He just puffed slowly away to rest and had a long, long drink. He went home very slowly and was careful afterwards never to be cheeky to Gordon again.
Ryan and Daisy. Daisy, the diesel rail car, thinks of herself as thoroughly modern and bang up to date. And being a rail car Daisy can carry passengers without having to pull any coaches at all. Daisy shares the branch line between Alsborough and Harwick with a tank engine called Ryan. Although they work on the same line, they are quite different. While Daisy takes all the passengers, Ryan pulls trucks. Daisy doesn't like pulling trucks. She likes to do just what work she chooses. And no more. One day, early in the morning, Ryan was ready for work. But Daisy had something else in mind.
Ready to go?
Oh, I don't think so, Ryan. Early mornings are bad for my swerves. I'll just have 10 minutes more.
Oh.
The Fat Controller was waiting at Alsborough West with some good news.
Ryan, you and Daisy have proved yourselves really useful. So, I want to give you both some extra duties. I'd like you to help Toby deliver trucks from the quarry to Harwick.
Yes, sir.
And as for Daisy, where is Daisy?
If you have a message, sir, I can pass it on.
Oh, not just a message. It's this mail truck. Starting tomorrow, Daisy will pick up the mail from Alsborough before she starts her passenger run. And now summer's here, I also want her to work later into the evening. Can you remember to tell her all that, Ryan?
Yes, sir. No problem, sir.
Oh, dear Ryan! Who are you pulling that old thing?
But this is your mail truck. You're to pick up the mail from Alsborough West first thing tomorrow and work later into the evening.
But I'm a diesel rail car. You would make a much better job of it, Ryan. I can't pull a mail truck. It's fit as orders.
But the Fat Controller
Plus,
says...
you look great pulling the mail truck. Really useful.
Well, when you put it like that... Thanks, Daisy.
The following day, Ryan set off early to pick up the mail. But all the extra duties made him late to meet Toby.
Sorry I'm late.
That's all right, Ryan. Don't worry. But try to be on time tomorrow.
Later on, Ryan saw Daisy.
Where are you going?
Back to the shed. I'm exhausted.
But you're supposed to work late.
Oh, Ryan, will you do that, please? All this extra work is bad for my swerves.
But you're a diesel rail car. I'm just a tank engine.
You could take those coaches. You'd be doing me a huge favor. And you'd be really useful.
You're right.
The Fat Controller was surprised to see Ryan pulling passenger coaches.
Ryan? What are you doing here?
Just helping out, sir.
Well, Ryan. What? No. You are making yourself really useful. But I was rather hoping to see Daisy. She's been doing such a good job with her passengers that I want to extend her run down to Knapford.
I can tell her that for you, sir.
Thank you, Ryan. I tell her myself, but as you can see, I'm a very busy man. No!
That night, when Ryan returned to the shed, Daisy was already asleep. And she was still asleep the next morning when Ryan set off to collect the mail. Ryan didn't like to wake her. He knew that early mornings were bad for her swerves.
Morning, everyone.
But now Ryan had a lot to do. As well as his own work and extra duties, he also had to do all of Daisy's extra jobs.
Go ahead. Couple me up.
With the passenger coaches behind him and Daisy's mail truck in front, Ryan couldn't see where he was going.
Look out! Sorry.
And after Ryan had delivered the mail, he saw a clock and realised he was late to meet Toby again.
Oh, dear.
He hurried to the quarry as quickly as he could, and he took all his passengers too.
Whoa! Hold on there! Stop! You can't disembark here. You need hard hats.
Poor Ryan felt very silly indeed. The Fat Controller was not happy with...
Daisy! You didn't do the run down to Knapford like I asked you to.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that, sir.
I saw Ryan pulling passenger coaches yesterday and with your mail truck this morning. He seems to be doing all your extra jobs.
Ryan offered to help. He wanted to be really useful.
Oh, Ryan and Daisy, you were given this branch line to work on together. You should be helping each other. It's good to help a friend, Ryan, but your friends should help you too.
Sorry, Ryan. I've not been a very good friend.
No, you haven't. And now, Daisy, since you don't like pulling the mail truck, you can do something else. Tomorrow, you can have all of Ryan's extra duties.
But what about my springs and my swerves? Okay, sir. I can do that. For a friend.
Huh.
Daisy the Diesel Railcar likes to do just what work she chooses, and no more.
Right then. Off I go to pick up your trucks.
Okay. Thanks, Daisy.
And then... to the quarry.
Have a good day, then. You're a good friend, Daisy.
I know I am, Ryan. And so are you.